One of the most important videos, in my opinion, about Marvel Champions content creation recently came out. And I didn't make it. That's frustrating. I'm just kidding. I mean, it's a little frustrating. But I think there's a really good video out there that a lot of people should watch. And it was recently done by Villain Theory, who is a friend of this channel, has a great channel himself. And he recently did a video called The Future of This Channel. And I'm going to link it down below. Before you carry on watching this video, go watch that video and hit the like button and subscribe. But go watch that video. It's like 31 minutes long. You can probably skip his origin if you don't really care about Villain Theory and how he got started, but it's really kind of fascinating. But starting especially the second section and then come back to me. All right, hopefully you're back by now. So I just paused in one area. This is when he talks about delayed content bringing him down, right? And especially this whole section, right, where it starts at like 9 minutes and 32 seconds and kind of runs through and all that stuff, and then gets into like the future of the channel, which we'll talk about too. This whole section is really fascinating and especially worth a listen. And I was gonna play it, but I don't want to play any of it because, well, you should go to his thing and you should go support his video so he gets the views and whatever, because I don't want to like take views from him or anything like this. But I just want to point out, especially like this section, especially this section and really the whole thing, but that section is key. The reason I bring this up is because one of the things he discusses in this is the issue that he's having with Fantasy Flight Games and being in England, somewhere in England. I don't know where in England it is, but I know it's somewhere in the UK. And as an American, I know where nothing is over there. So he discusses how they get a lot of delayed shipments, and because of that, he doesn't have the ability to be able to create the content in a timely manner. And I know some people might be like, why does that matter? Let me show you why. This is my Deadpool preview video. My hair was much shorter back then. I think we're gonna get a cut like that again. But anyway, this is my Deadpool video from way back when. And as you can see, I like my own videos, and that's a small content creator hack. You should like your own stuff. Anyway, at this point, this video has 4.2 thousand views on it from 9 months ago. The reason being is because I was the first content creator to put this video up, right? I got crazy amount of views for this content. Now, you could argue that my thumbnail was really good for it. The title was really good, but the title was really kind of trash. The thumbnail I don't really remember. I guess you can go look on the channel. But you could argue that was part of that. Okay. My review of Deadpool is much later because, as people have now known, I really don't like Deadpool. It was a struggle playing it. I was not a big fan of his. And I put out the review much later, and I got 1.7 thousand views compared to a lot of other people who got much more views. And that is a part of the importance of coming out first with a video, is that you get indexed higher on the YouTube search. And this is, again, in here where Villain Theory talks about this, where he talks about Magic. My search bar says Villain Theory, but his says Magic Marvel Champion. And he has a video and he scrolls through it and like you can't even find his video, even though the views are roughly the same, right? He has almost as many views as my Magic video did, but you couldn't find his video anywhere because mine and Nelson's came out first and thus got indexed higher. So why do I bring this up? Why is this an important thing to kind of talk about? Well, there's a few things that it kind of needs to be talked about. One is that you can talk about the fairness of it all, right? That Americans, generally speaking, get a lot of these heroes and whatnot before Europe or other countries. And as American content creator, we kind of get an unfair advantage with content creation. Now, you would normally think that I would be happy about that, but I'm a firm believer of high tides raise all ships. I think that's how the saying goes, right? High tides raise all ships. If not, let me know down in the comments if I mess up the saying. But anyway, basically, if everyone in this space is doing better as a content creator, I believe we all do better, right? Success helps success, basically. So anyway, I think that other people creating really good and timely content is a good thing. And I think if it helps them be promoted on YouTube and people start watching their stuff, they're going to go, well, who else is out there? Villain Theory, I don't see as a competitor at all in this space. Yes, we both cover Marvel Champions, but it's two very different things. I watch his videos personally because it has a lot of in-depth stuff in there that I'm never going to cover as a content creator. I'm not that smart. I don't get the game well enough. I don't even think I'm that good of a player. I think I'm an entertainer, right? And that's how I've always treated this channel, as entertainment first, information second. a lot of other people don't do things that way. And if you want to know the secret to a part of my success, and actually part of the reason why probably people hate me as well, is because of that. I fill a niche spot within a niche spot within a niche spot, right? Board gaming is a niche spot. Marvel Champions is even more niche, and me trying to be an entertainer in the Marvel Champions niche spot and the board game niche spot is Villain Theory I see as a separate thing, right? He's completely different than me. So that's why I think it's important for all content creators to be able to get access to this stuff fairly easily and like fairly, kind of right away. Like the delay stuff really hurts content creators. With that being said, I don't think it's incumbent on other people in the community, because he makes a comment about how there is a board game store, I think in the States, that is willing to like ship it out to him, but he's got to pay shipping and all this stuff. I don't understand personally how Fantasy Flight Games isn't working with content creators. And that's the main thing that I should really, or that most people should take away from this video for the first half, is that it blows my mind. The amount of stuff that like other board game companies work with content creators is mind-blowing. I highly doubt any board game publisher besides Fantasy Flight Games has the type of devoted content creators, like has more devoted content creators than any other game that's out there, right? Like I know there's a few people that do Spirit Island, there's a few people that do Gloomhaven, but I mean there are a dozen, 24 content creators on just Marvel Champions. That's not including Lord of the Rings. That's not including Arkham Horror, which is a massive one that has a lot of content. Like that's not even including any of that stuff, right? Just Marvel Champions. That's insane, and we really don't get anything for it. And I know this is going to sound like kind of arrogant, and I get it. I get how it's going to sound, but I think Fantasy Flight Games should work with content creators. And I know that I know they watch these videos, and I really implore you to work with us, not just for our sake and our numbers' sake, because why would you care about that? Really, you should care about it because it ultimately helps you, Fantasy Flight Games. It's free marketing. For what? To ship us a game a little bit early? I'd still pay MSRP for the hero pack or the box. I'm not even asking for free product, right? I'm just asking to receive the product a little bit sooner so that thus we can help build up hype for your game to help you make more money. And here's the thing, even if you don't want to support me because you don't like me, or I already get access to the game pretty quickly, usually I'm like 2 or 3 days behind the release because I have no local game store, which is totally fine. But at least support people like Villain Theory or other people around the country who can't get access to the game within the first month. Like that's insane to me as a content creator, that you're just so far behind the 8 ball. You're a decent sized content creator providing real value, and Fantasy Flight Games isn't there to help the content creator space at all. And that's kind of sad. That's kind of sad to see. So anyway, this is more of a plea to Fantasy Flight Games, and I think it's a bigger discussion that needs to happen in this space overall, is that it'd be really great to see Fantasy Flight Games work with their content creators more. It really would be. And I'm not, and again, if people are thinking this is just me trying to be me and trying to get free product, I'll gladly pay. I'll pay for the product and I'll pay shipping. All I'm asking is that we get the product early to hype up your game. And again, if you don't want to work with me and you'd rather work with people who can't get access to the game right away, that's fine too, right? Do that. Do something with your content creators. It's wild to me that they haven't. Which leads us into the second part of this video. So Villain Theory in the second part of this video starts asking for anyone to help support him on Patreon or YouTube memberships. And I get that there's this weird thing that in the board game space, you're not supposed to ask for money as a content creator. Well, I do. I do it all the time. I do it unapologetically. I think as a content creator, you should ask for money all the time because people do not understand how much time is put into this. And he makes a reference of how much money he's made per hour. And it's like British pounds per hour. And honestly, I'm bigger than him, and that tracks, right? So I figured out recently that I roughly made $560 last month. It was roughly around that, $550, $560 last month through all channels, right? YouTube, Twitch, Patreon, all that stuff. And most people go, that's pretty good for a board game content creator, I think. I don't know, why is D20 complaining about anything? And I'm not complaining. It is really good money to be making as a hobby for this space. It's really amazing. It's really cool to be put in this position to be able to make that money. I know smaller content creators that be going, I would kill for that amount of money. I totally get it, and I'm very appreciative of all of it. I put in last month, because I tracked it for fun, 237 hours into this channel in 1 month. That works out to about $2.10 per hour, right? And that's not even tracking the time that I spend, networking or whatever you want to call it on Discord and other social media platforms where you're just like chatting. Is an important part of content creation because you gotta like get your name out there, but I'm not even including that stuff because we're just gonna say that's fun stuff. So that's not even including that, right? That's just shooting video, editing video, going live, writing stuff, whatever. It doesn't matter. That is kind of crazy. And the thing is, as you start getting bigger and bigger, you start creating more and more content. And yes, you make overall more money, but the per dollar value is less. Not even less. It's probably roughly around the same. So this is why I believe that all content creators should honestly be asking for money if this is what they need for their channel to survive, for their channel to do better. I think it's an important thing, and I think they should ask for it. So I have a very giving community. There's a lot of other people out there that are very, very giving. And like I said, I am truly appreciative. I don't think I'm owed anything with the amount of hours I put in, right? I think if I worked 200 hours last month and I made $0, well, that's because we're going to keep grinding away until we start making money, right? Like, again, I don't want to make it seem like, oh, because I put in so much time, I deserve X amount of money. I don't deserve anything, right? I'm truly fortunate to receive anything from you, and I do not take that lightly. But what I am saying is that if you have the means to support a content creator so they can do the work, please do, right? Please do. If you have the capability of just sharing that content creator's stuff, which if you don't want to pay for anything, totally get. Times are tough. It's hard to pay for things right now. I get it. But if you still want to help out that content creator, there is another way to do it besides giving them money, and that is sharing stuff, right? Share their videos. It doesn't have to be my videos. It could be Villain Theory's videos, Web Warrior Fanatics videos, whomever, right? Nelson's videos, whomever. Doesn't matter. Go out there and share their stuff, because there is some very, very, very large board game YouTube accounts out there that I think some people could not compete with. I don't want to say compete because that's not right, but there's like a lot of people in the board game space that could be joining these channels that just don't know about it yet. There's a lot of people joining Marvel Champions every single day. I read it all the time on Reddit and Facebook. It's phenomenal to see. What I'm trying to say is support your local content creator, right? We talk all the time about supporting small business, and I think that's very important to do, even if they kind of make it hard sometimes to do. But you should support your content creator any way you can. And it's not just monetarily, but just sharing their stuff, watching their stuff all the way through, as much as you can through it, even if it's on a second monitor. Like physically sharing it, like whatever, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Like, these aren't just like trivial things that content creators say, like just like and subscribe my video. They actually do matter, and they do mean a lot. So anyway, I know this is kind of a weird video, but I do think the stuff that Villain Theory is bringing up is really important and needs to be said. Half of it's kind of incumbent on Fantasy Flight Games to start working with content creators. And again, I'm not even saying they have to pay us or anything like that. It would be real nice, but I'm not saying they have to or anything like that. I'm just saying that they should work with them more to help promote their own game so they can get more sales. And again, in turn, if you have a content creator that you really like and you really enjoy, support them any way you can. If you don't have the monetary means to do it, sharing their stuff helps a lot, because maybe someone else does, and that could lead because you share their videos, right? And if you can support them monetarily, even for a little bit, please do. Like I said, there's a lot of us that put in a ton of hours, and no, we're not owed anything. Just because I put in a ton of work doesn't mean I get X amount, but it is really nice to get those quote unquote rewards from people that we put in those hours, make some money, and thus I can put it back into the stream, right? I can put it back into these videos. There's things in this video set that I don't need to, but I would really like to upgrade. This camera and the top down camera, it'd be really nice to get better pictures on those things, right? Those are things I would like to improve. When I play 2-player games in Marvel Champions, because I know more people want to see 2-player games in Marvel Champions, I would like to get a mic that actually works pretty decently for the 2-person setup. But it all costs money. So anyway, that's what I'm really saying about that. So anyway, support your local your local content creator. It means a lot to them. And Fantasy Flight Games, just start working with some people. Be really cool.